Warrior football is now 3-1 as our Warriors took on the Mayville State University Comets in the first round of a two-game schedule this season. Saturday, the Warriors spotted the Comets' offense from far away and redirected their trajectory down after down. It was our Warrior offense, though, that set school records and turned the homecoming festivities at Mayville into May-Notville with a final score of 56-34. The Comets will return to Waldorf's Field's orbit at our house October 21st. Our Warriors found the end zone 8 times in Mayville Saturday. The offense was leading the way with a total of 552 yards, 187 in passing yards, and we ran for 363 rushing yards. It was a record-setting day for the Warriors as Navi Hill rushed for 187 of those 363 rushing yards, reaching 2,001 yards in his career, breaking the record for rushing set by former standout Hilton Joseph, who had 1,834 yards in his 4 years with the Warriors. This is Navi's second season, and he was injured for a good part of last year's season, and we're just 4 games into this season, so lots more to come from Hill. He scored 5 of the 8 touchdowns for the Warriors, which tied a 56-year record set for a single-game TDs by Al Burrell in 1967. Navi rightfully earned the NSAA Offensive Player of the Week title while writing his name into Warrior history with his work in Mayville. Malik Adams led the team in receiving with 102 of the 189 yards passed by Jordan Cooper, and Dom Watt came down with key receptions, as did Bryce Jones for the Warriors as well. First-year offensive coordinator Ethan Ani is busting at the seams with pride this week on the offense. The O-line earned the Gridiron Club's Big Man of the Week award as a unit for their outstanding work in the trenches on Saturday. The defense held the Comets off at key moments in the game Saturday, snagging 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter from Shannon Williams and Jakeem Brock, which led to the final TD after a 62-yard rush from Tay Buchanan. Keegan Handel sacked the Mayville QB in the second quarter for a big 16-yard loss, and Keelan Jackson found the QB in the third quarter for a 6-yard loss. The Warriors' defense vastly improved their third down conversion percentage against the Comets, going from a 48% conversion rate in the game against the Trojans to an impressive 27% conversion rate against the Comets. Coach Chapa was pretty pleased about that. Will Strickland led the team in tackles Saturday with 10, followed by Shannon Williams and Keegan Handel, each with 8. Then Kaysen Handel and Keelan Jackson, each with 6 tackles on the day. Jeremiah Smith and Xavier Warner had 4 tackles each. Austin Erdman, Nico Page, and Keangelo Robinson all had 3 tackles. Connor Parker was perfect once again on extra points, going 8 for 8 in the game against the Comets, once again earning NSAA Special Teams Player of the Week status for his work. That's the second time this season Parker has earned that title. One problem the Warriors did have on Saturday was the number of penalties they racked up, totaling 170 yards, which we might have to chalk up to just kindness by giving the Comets a false sense of hope on their homecoming game. But that's a problem they will need to correct before this week's game against the conference heavyweight Dickinson State. Our Warriors host the Blue Hawks of Dickinson State University on Saturday. Kickoff is at 1 p.m., and we're looking for all our fans and tailgaters to get out to the tailgate area early to beat the Dickinson State fans who are already looking for spots to tailgate in. Get your friends and family and neighbors and even that one weird guy you don't usually hang out with to come out to the tailgate area early this Saturday at Waldorf Field to set the atmosphere. Heck, you can even show up on Friday if you want. The Blue Hawks are 2-1 on their season, having lost their opening game in August at Rocky Mountain 20-19, but they are 1-0 in the conference, having also defeated Mayville just before Labor Day. They are coming into the game Saturday, tomorrow, fresh off a bye week. Keep an eye out for their tight ends and running back, and we can anticipate a well-disciplined opponent Saturday on both offense and defense. The Gridiron Club presented our Outstanding Warrior Awards Wednesday, honoring the following players for their contributions to the game and the team. Navi Hill was the Offensive Player of the Week. Shannon Williams, the Defensive Player of the Week. The entire starting offensive line earned the Big Man of the Week award, as we mentioned. And Connor Parker continues his collection by earning the Special Teams Player of the Week award. Terrell James got the Offensive Scout Team Player of the Week. Jeremiah Smith earned the Defensive Scout Team Player of the Week. And Will Strickland earned the Warrior of the Week award, given to that Warrior who exemplifies leadership, great attitude, and hard work on the field, in the classroom, and out in the community. Congratulations to our Week 4 Warriors Award recipients. Don't forget to make your bid for the official team-signed Warrior football tomorrow. There are just 3 balls left to be auctioned off this season. You can find it displayed from pregame through halftime in the tailgate area under the Pritchard Portable Bar Canopy. Saturday's home game is Military and First Responder Appreciation Day at Waldorf Field, so come on out and cheer on our Warriors and help us stay perfect at home. And big news for the Warriors as Waldorf announced on Monday of this week that they are leaving the NSAA Conference following the season and joining the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Waldorf will be the 13th member school of the GPAC, which includes schools such as Morningside, Northwestern, and Dordt. The conference will likely be adjusted to have a North and South division, and you can anticipate better competition in all sports as well as a better travel schedule, as most schools are within just a few hours from Waldorf University. That makes this season the farewell tour, so to speak, for our Warriors in the NSAA, so let's make it a season to remember. Now that's the Gridiron Postgame 411. Now, on to this week's show. Welcome to the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, your home for all things football at Waldorf University, the best small college football experience in America. Hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson, from the secret bunker beneath Waldorf Field.
All right, folks, welcome to this edition of the episode. I say edition all the time, Troy, but this is the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast, but I say edition. I mean, like, do we have editions? These are episodes, right?
I mean, I don't know. Is there a difference?
All right. Chad and Birdman need to look this up and find out exactly what's the difference between an episode and an edition.
Yeah, we'll find out at the next home game or sooner, perhaps. They have our email.
So anyway, if you guys could work on that, that'd be great. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're rolling. Troy, I'm gonna go ahead and uncover the seedy underbelly of podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. So what I'm going to tell the folks that are listening is that we're actually recording this prior to the game in Mayville.
Oh, yes, we are.
So we're not going to have any results of that. So sorry, folks. Troy's probably, before this, he probably told you all that happened and the stunning victory. We set all sorts of scoring records and held them to negative 703 yards and 9 interceptions.
Now you're really making it difficult for me to edit if anything's wrong with that. But I would say, the Gridiron 411 is always prefaced by the in-season Gridiron Club episodes.
True.
Or editions.
True, and the reason I say negative 700 yards offense is because we're bringing in another defensive stud.
Mm-hmm.
This sophomore week, Troy, sophomore, linebacker. Sophomore, yeah. Sorry, I'm not good with English. Number 25, Aiden Williams. Aiden comes to us from Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Ooh,
Aiden, welcome.
Rapids. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You can say more than that.
Yeah.
You can say hi, Mom, or whatever. No, it's cool. Aiden, let's go ahead and tear the Band-Aid off right away. We were extremely fortunate due to some misfortune.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us that story, Aiden.
The Iowa Wesleyan story?
Sure, yeah. We'll start with that.
Well, it shut down. We were really in debt. So end of May, I think it was.
Yeah.
Just had a student-wide meeting in the chapel, and then said the school shut down at the end of the year. So I had to find a new home.
Yeah, and how'd that go? Like coaching staff, did they bring you guys all in and talk to you as well?
Yeah, so after the student-wide meeting, then they had the football specific, and they talked to us, told us they would do whatever they could to help, and I think they did a great job of that.
Yeah, what was the coach's name? He was like an Iowa Wesleyan guy.
MD Daniels.
Okay.
At Bethel, Tennessee now.
Oh, he is? Yes. So he got a different job as well?
Everyone did.
Okay, good. Good. So were there guys on your former Wesleyan team that didn't get a spot?
Maybe a few, but they kind of they didn't like football that much already. So
they were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just pay more for school now. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Aiden, but Andy would say last year, he would say Iowa Wesleyan.
That was 2 years worth.
The powerhouse of the
The North Star.
North Star.
I was really brutal to Iowa Wesleyan.
I don't know if you
just
listened,
because,
but we already established you didn't listen. Why would you? You know, if you're
Right.
if you're on another team, you probably should. That might fire the team up. I mean, that kind
and the only reason that I did that
Yeah.
is because there were 2 Iowa schools at the time in the North Star. It's like, let's start building a rivalry and start talking some smack to our brothers down in Southeast Iowa.
Yeah.
And we were kind of hoping that you would have come in and told us, we played your podcast every week in our locker room.
Yeah, that's what I was
Just to
hoping.
get fired up.
Yeah.
But
can you believe those guys? I can't wait to see those guys.
yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And are you Wesleyan? Are you Methodist?
No.
No. Oh, so what made you pick Iowa Wesleyan?
Well, out of high school, it was really just money.
Yeah.
Well, that's smart. So in Cedar Rapids, you played for Washington, is that right?
Correct.
All right. And I had some, I lost my darn. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
My little thing here. So in high school, you wore number 40.
Yes.
And what's Washington's mascot?
The Warriors.
Perfect. See, this is
that
destiny, Aiden.
It is.
Man.
Yeah.
So then you committed to Iowa Wesleyan. As we've already talked about, they closed, unfortunately, for a lot of people. But you received offers after Wesleyan closed from Judson University, Missouri Baptist, Westminster College, and Cornell. And then here you are wearing the purple of Waldorf. How did that situation go?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually kind of funny. So I lived in Cedar Rapids.
Yep.
And it was some random day. I didn't have classes, so I went home, which is an hour away from Mount Pleasant.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then my linebacker coach called me and was like, the Waldorf coaches are here to see you. At the time, it was Paramore. He's like,
Yeah.
he's here to see you. When can you be here? And I was like, I can be there in an hour. So I drove back, and when I came, they told me that they had left. They had already left. So then I texted Paramore, and then Coach G came back.
Oh, yeah.
And then I talked to him. And then from there, he did a great job of recruiting me. He was kind of always talking to me.
Yep.
And seemed like the right fit, like the coaches, everything about it.
That's good.
What is different, experience-wise, the program, you come on campus, you came from a rival school, integration into the team, all of that stuff.
Well, into the team, it was like, no one really looked at me any different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just another player. But school-wise, you guys have a lot better of like a community. Like at Wesleyan, we were trying to get the community to like us, I guess is the
Show
correct
up.
term.
Mm-hmm.
Show up, yeah.
Yeah.
But here it was like I showed up with a Waldorf football shirt, and people respected me almost more than
Cool.
at Wesleyan. It was not that.
Well, and you got to wonder, I mean, there's a lot of different schools around that area, because you're
coming from Cedar Rapids. You got Co right there.
Loris is in Dubuque.
Yes.
Loris is in Dubuque, but I think there's more than one school in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah.
It's Mount Mercy.
Yeah, Mount
that's
Mercy.
right.
That's right.
They don't have a football team.
No.
Isn't that are they like nurses?
Nursing school.
Something like that.
I don't really know. It'd be cool if they did have a football team. And what if they were
A bunch of nurses just
really good?
killing everybody.
We got an injury, but he's right back in.
Perfect.
Yeah. So Cedar Rapids, that's a nice place to grow up in, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was fun. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Cedar Rapids. What is the 5 Seasons about?
Ooh.
So, I think
Yep. Here we go.
it's like a love of the city kind of
Okay.
thing. I think they were shooting for,
Okay. Yeah.
but a lot of people call it the city of 5 smells.
Well, for our listeners that don't know, Cedar Rapids in Iowa is the home of Quaker Oats.
Yes, they are.
General Mills, right? Yeah. So that's why. And we're very happy about that. That's
absolutely.
Right in the heartland, the breadbasket. And the second largest city in Iowa is Cedar Rapids.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that during the Iowa State Fair that the campground at the State Fair becomes the 7th largest city in the state of Iowa if it would be its own municipality?
I did not know that.
There you go.
That had to
Did you know that,
in
Aiden?
some kind of county emergency management briefing specific
no
data.
Well, it probably did come out of my
Yeah.
occupation. Yes.
Yeah.
You go to the state fair?
I do not.
You don't.
No.
So you weren't an ag kid. You were a city kid. Sort of.
Yeah.
For Iowa standards, you were a city kid.
Yes.
Right.
Very
Okay.
much.
So what did you and your hooligan friends do when you were in high school
Yeah.
when you weren't playing football?
It was really just football. Not gonna lie. I was working out, playing football, talking about football, watching football. That
Okay.
was what me and my friend group did in high school.
All right. So what did some of your friends do post high school? Did some of them get some good looks?
So, yeah, some of them. One of them right now, Noah Allen. He's at Iowa Western.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a dog.
Yeah.
Shout out him. But other than that, I had a few teammates play rugby
Oh yeah.
in college.
Get their face broken. That's crazy.
I think that was it mainly. I'm probably missing someone.
No, that's all right. I mean, we can always go back if you remember somebody a little bit later. So you come to Waldorf, which we couldn't be more thrilled. Was it just the two of you and Jakeem from Wesleyan?
Yes.
Okay. So the two of you come up here and you were just like, you're just another transfer. Nobody
Yeah.
thought, you're that Wesleyan guy. We don't like you or anything.
Well, there was a few like good-hearted jokes thrown in there.
Well, I'd hope so. And that's, and I, okay. So on a lot of the podcasts, I was trying to get somebody from Iowa Wesleyan to listen to the podcast, or at least say, look what this jerk is saying. Cause in just trying to poke good fun at Iowa Wesleyan, I'd always say, well, it's the powerhouse of the North Star.
Yeah.
But at the same time, obviously there was a lot of mutual respect there between Wesleyan and Waldorf. But I don't even know where the heck I was going, Troy. You know what's really tough about getting old, Aiden?
What's that?
You lose your train of thought. Ever happened to you?
Yeah.
It does. Oh, so it's not just an age
Ever
thing.
walk into a room and forgot why you went into that room?
All the time.
Okay, good. Then it's
You
not.
realize you're not wearing pants. Oh, sorry, folks.
Yeah.
Gonna go back, put on some pants.
Yeah, it's an awkward place to be here in Vespers. You guys. Anyway, so you came from Iowa Wesleyan, and you're into the team. We're 4 games into the season. As we record this, we don't know the results of the 4th game.
Yes.
But as we record this, 2-1. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Very good.
And you get a lot of time on the field for a sophomore.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that I've seen about Aiden is that he's very studious, but he plays hard. You're always kind of right in the mix, aren't you?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So linebacker, your size, your speed and all that stuff, is that where you would love to play? Or is there another position where it's like, I'd rather be a,
I mean, I like linebacker. I feel like it's, for me, my mindset, my style of play, I think it's good, but it'd be fun to play safety.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we don't really have very good safeties at Waldorf, do we?
Yeah, right.
So what was that like, the talent level? I mean, what did you notice when you came into Waldorf? Was it a surprise for you? Was it like, oh, wow, these guys are just, regular old whatevers?
Like compared to Wesleyan?
Oh, whatever. Yeah, just, the talent level here.
I mean, everybody here is a great athlete. I mean, you said the safeties, but like Will and Kaysen, they're both just dogs. They hit people all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of athleticism here is amazing.
You've got 17 tackles since you started playing for the Warriors, and obviously there's probably more that we could add to that since we're recording this a little bit early. But how does that feel? Obviously, that's your job. You love to you make the hits. So talk about that.
I mean, I could have a lot more. I mean, I miss a lot of tackles and assignments. I'm not going to say I'm like that guy.
Yeah.
But,
well, he coming. That's
And
nice.
don't worry, Choppa doesn't listen to this.
Yeah, right.
but I mean, 17's a good number, but obviously want more. I
Yeah,
feel like I've left a lot on the table so far this year.
right. But the defense is coming on strong, and the offense is crushing it, in a lot of good ways. What's the competition like between when the offense comes off the field and the defense heads out?
I mean, the offense so far has done a good job of especially last game against Dakota State. They had some really long, sustained drives that ended in points, and that really just kills the team's morale, and we get all the momentum from that. So we go out there and it's like kind of throwing us an alley-oop almost.
Well, and you get to rest.
Yes.
As well. It's not one of those things, hey, another 3 and out. Great. Thanks for the 4 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Well, against Briarcliff, they had a few, 2-3 play touchdowns, and it was like, got to go out again.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Darn it.
Yeah, well, it only gets tougher. I mean, as the season goes on, of course, you will play Dakota State again, and as this plays, you just played Mayville, so we'll see them again. Yes. And everybody, Valley City, everybody in the NSAA, you see twice. So that's a little different experience. But what do you think the benefits of that are?
Game planning for sure.
Sure.
Because of our defense, we're going to see how they play against our fronts, our blitzes, see how they respond, even just throughout the game, and knowing how they're going to play against us rather than another team.
But how about personally? You're out there and you're doing the same thing. So game planning for coaches, the team, translating that obviously, but for you, does it give you an opportunity to say, "Oh yeah, I remember this guy"?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. What is that? Are there moments where you're like, "Oh, I remember this guy."
Usually good.
Good.
Usually.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Have you run into players, particularly on the offensive line, that because they'll find some linebackers every now and then?
Usually when they're hitting me, it's I can't really see the numbers, but
okay.
No, I don't really have any beef with any old lineman yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Give it time. Yeah.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
Well, and being able to see,
and as a sophomore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Being able to see everybody twice. Is there okay, we played Dakota State once, and obviously when this airs, Mayville as well. Is there any holdback? Hey, let's not show everything in the playbook.
I feel like that's above my pay grade.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I feel like against Dakota State, I feel like we were pretty open in our playbook.
Yep.
There's some things we didn't run, but
sure,
what we had in our game plan is what we ran.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to defense, I feel like they're just going to have to deal with it, and they're going to try to scheme around it and spread you out or get you to, play a little softer or whatever it is. But that's also anticipated on our end. So we're like, it can be two completely different scenarios against the same team since we're playing everybody twice.
Yeah.
Yep. And this being your second year of college football, what are you finding as some of your favorite things about the whole process?
Just the team aspect of it, just walking around camp, especially since small school.
Yep.
I see my teammates all day throughout the day, just walking around. So having someone to just kind of chat it up with while you're walking to class is always fun.
So did they put you in a dorm and have you rooming with another football player?
Yes, I was, but then he left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're all by yourself now?
I am, but they're making me room with someone else.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
What dorm they stick you in?
I was in Ormseth.
Oh, yeah, Orm
all
dorm.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, when you were in
all female,
yeah, that's what I was. I loved going to Ormseth. Is where the ladies were.
Yeah. And because back in the
That's
day,
not where the ladies are now, obviously. But Aiden is here and he's like, "What are you talking about, lady?" Well, how is it split up now? I don't even know.
So there's 4 floors. First and fourth are female, and then 2 and 3 are male.
Okay. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Johnson, London, I think that's all freshmen, right?
Yes.
I think London is all female, Johnson is all male, or something close to that.
I think that's it.
Yeah. And I don't even know about Tanner, because back in the day, Johnson, London, or JNL.
You were a Johnson guy. No, you.
Second Johnson.
Yeah, second.
Started out in Fourth Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually lived my freshman year on Fourth Johnson with a guy from Marion. His dad was a cop in Marion, and he is now he's a cop in Cedar Rapids.
So how about that?
I hope you don't know his name.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
I was a Tanner guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
North, south.
North. South was the ladies were on
Oh, yeah,
the
that's
south
right.
side.
Yep. Yep.
You could meet in the middle back then. In the middle. But everybody walked through Tanner. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You would go one side.
We didn't have Breen back in the day.
Yeah, there was no Breen.
No, that's where I'm gonna live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, next year. Or
Ooh,
next
moving
semester.
on up, like the Jeffersons. Yeah.
Oh, George.
Yeah. Wheezy.
No,
You don't know.
nothing.
It's an adult TV
No.
show. Doesn't matter.
What type of TV shows do you watch? Or do you even watch TV, or is it just all film?
Yeah.
I don't watch much TV. No.
Really?
Movies?
Didn't have any favorite series that you watched or anything?
Like when I was a kid, like SpongeBob and
Yeah.
classics, but
Oh, yeah.
kind
Classics.
Ooh, lips. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just had a cough.
So you didn't, what about like streaming? You a streaming guy? Any of that stuff?
not really.
No?
No.
What in the heck do you do with
Yeah,
your
what do you
time,
do with your
Aiden?
time?
It's kind of chill. I don't know.
What do you
Sit down,
study?
look at
What
the
do you
wall.
study?
I'm a health promotion and exercise science major.
Okay. Very good.
So Missy Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Missy is a fan. And
Yeah.
we're even bigger fans of Missy's.
Yeah.
Yes. Great teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She comes to sometimes at she's out at the coaches show, the Warriors Live program. And a good program down there for that. Yeah. She spent most of your time down at the field house. Is that where the classrooms are?
Well, transferring, there was a lot of. I still have to take some gen ed classes.
Oh, okay.
I have one class in the field house with Missy.
What kind of gen ed classes you got to take?
Right now, I'm in critical thinking, bio, psych. There's more probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Who teaches critical thinking?
I have Steve Smith.
Oh,
yes.
all right. So
He
a lot of
is
hockey
critical
references.
Thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a few.
I was talking to Steve Smith at one of our Warriors after one of our Warriors Live.
Yep.
And
Great dude.
Oh, he is a great dude. Religion professor, also. I forgot that momentarily.
Ordained pastor
Yeah,
as well.
I forgot that as well, and had good football conversation going on that included unfortunate expletives. And then I realized who I was talking to, and I was like, "Steve, I'm sorry. I just realized that." And he's like, "Oh, that's not the first time I've heard that."
God can only hear you when you're talking to a pastor.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, he heard me that day. Yeah.
So you just hang out. Do you just stare at the wall, or what exactly is just chill?
I mean,
Video games.
Ricky Castillo. I hang out with him a lot. He's
Okay, yeah.
another linebacker from West Hills.
Yep.
I mean, in class, doing homework, watching film, or trying to.
So you're kind of all business, aren't you? Try to be?
Try to be, yeah.
Or are you just saying that because your folks are probably going to listen to this?
Yeah. Well, business maybe in the front, but he's party in the rear because he
does not have a mullet.
No, it's full on. I mean, what kind of music you listen to? Because your hair is saying 80s rock.
I do not listen to that.
Come on, man.
What?
No, I don't. I know.
Man, you could toss that around.
I mean, you've got great head of hair. I mean, that's hairband quality right
and
there.
there has got to be lots of young ladies on campus that would kill to have your head of hair.
I'm sure, but I do have a girlfriend back home.
Oh, gosh. Is she like a high school sweetheart?
Yes,
Okay. What's her name?
Emily.
Emily.
Well,
What's
hello,
Emily
Emily.
doing now?
Yeah.
How come she's not up here?
She goes to school at Iowa. She's also studying exercise science down there.
Okay.
She could come up here and take exercise science.
That's what I told her.
Right.
Oh, geez.
Down at Iowa. Now, Cedar Rapids, 20 minutes down the road.
You bet.
Another football team. Kind of a big deal, I guess, in Iowa for some folks. So are you a Hawkeye fan?
Yes.
Yeah.
Born and raised.
For sure. Yeah. They had a little curtain raiser game prior to the Dakota State game against another little local team.
Yep.
With the Cyclones.
Yeah.
And did okay on that. It was kind of, actually, some people thought it was kind of a boring game.
Didn't watch any of it.
No, we were busy with real football up here in North
we
Iowa.
got some good football that we watched. Yeah. It was a lot more fun. So has that got to be tough for you too, just when being a college football player? It's not like you guys get All right, guys, games at 4, about 3:15, come in, put on your pads and go. You miss a lot of really great football.
Yeah.
Do you not?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And like Sunday I had study table and I was trying to watch the end of the late afternoon games, but had to study. So
Are you in any like fantasy? Any fantasy leagues?
I am in a fantasy league.
You're in one.
2.
Oh, you're in 2.
Ooh.
Okay. How you doing so far? The first week, so
1-0-1 and 0-1 in the other.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
So is there a particular team that you like to follow?
Seahawks.
The Seahawks. How
Really?
did that happen? I
Yeah.
could see Bears, maybe even the Cardinals.
A lot of
maybe.
Bears, a lot of Chicago fans in general on that side of the state. A lot of
Yeah.
Cubs fans over there. You a Cubs fan?
I don't really watch baseball.
Okay. All right. So no. And then okay, go ahead.
So Seahawks, how'd that happen?
Yeah.
So I didn't really have a team. I just kind of liked watching football. And then I was kind of getting to the age where I was like, okay, I should pick a team.
Yeah.
And right about then is when the Legion of Boom. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I like defense, so fun to watch.
Well, you really have to marry yourself to a team so that you understand that, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. Regularly.
Quite a bit.
Yeah,
Quite a
it's
bit.
a good lesson for my kids, actually. My oldest boy finally said, Dad, I don't care about the outcomes of games anymore. It's just too disappointing. And I was like, well,
You raised him to be a Vikings fan.
that's true.
Yep.
I mean, he was a Bears fan. He became a Vikings fan. So I guess that's a step
He
up.
switched. I figured he's going to be Chiefs Kingdom down there now.
Well, I think he is.
It's hard not to
hard
be.
not to, especially since his law firm represents him. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good. So you became a Seahawks fan, and who do you have picked for your defense though now and your fantasy football league?
So I don't know. I can look.
Yeah,
Might have had the Buccaneers.
the Bucks. Okay.
Yeah, they did pretty well against the Vikings. And
Yeah, they did actually. Yeah, I was at that game.
now you get beat by Baker Mayfield, Troy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and things I love Baker Mayfield. Don't get me wrong. He's one of those guys. He's a character. Those commercials that he had when he was in Cleveland were my favorite commercials.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
I can't believe I said that.
Yeah, well, it was
Favorite commercial.
It was fun watching the Vikings collapse in person. But what can I say about that first game? Now that's already passed, so we'll see how they do. I won't include that in the Gridiron 411, but I'm hoping for better outcomes. So who did you come up with? Is it the Bucks?
I think it is. Yeah, it didn't load, but
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
assume it's
Well, we're in the bunker.
I picked San Francisco.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they did pretty well so far. Yeah. I don't know. See.
Yeah. All right. So when you go back to Cedar Rapids, do you stay with family or?
Yeah,
you do. Okay.
still stay with my mom.
All right. So tell me about your family back
Yeah,
in
let's
CR.
find out about that.
Mom, dad, little brother.
Okay. Little brother's how old?
He is 14. He just had his first football game today.
Oh,
Really?
really?
Yes.
All right. So
What does he play?
I think they put him at corner.
Okay.
smaller.
A lot of backwards running.
Yep.
A lot of it.
So you're pretty much his hero, right?
I don't know.
What?
Maybe. I could be.
You probably are. You probably like my brother plays college football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can only hope.
Right.
Well, I think so. So what's your little brother's name?
Kane.
Kane?
That's a good.
Come
name.
to Waldorf, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll make you a cornerback up here. We're kind of, Iowa's tight end you, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Waldorf, we're defense you. We got it all.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he wants to play defense, he comes up here.
I'll,
Yeah. We only take the best.
Yeah.
that is true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Aiden does know that.
Right.
100%. So you don't watch a lot of TV. You watch a lot of film. No video games?
Is that because people say they don't watch TV anymore? Just because, there aren't 3 channels anymore. I mean, it's just like there's a billion channels and everybody is watching YouTube and all that stuff. Is that why you say that?
Well, I mean, I don't have cable. I don't have a cable
Right.
TV, so there's not really shows. But I mean, I'll throw something on Hulu if something's on, but
Okay.
it's mainly just streaming services. So I'll watch
Oh, yeah.
games, NFL,
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I record a lot of football games. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the Iowa State game.
Mm-hmm. You want me to tell you one?
Well, and my wife even said that. I was before the Monday Night Football game last night. I'm sitting there, I'm going through the game.
Yeah.
She's like, "You know who won?" that doesn't matter.
Right.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't care who won. I mean, I wanted Iowa to win, but I really wanted a good football game.
You know what's funny about that, Aiden, is that my father-in-law, he is a baseball fan, so he will watch Minnesota Twins.
Twins, yeah. Vikings aren't very good
No,
at baseball.
but no. Well, they might be comparatively.
Should try
but
something.
So he'll watch Twins games, and it can be like, January because it's on like replay. No idea. Like he's just like, yep, Twins are playing. I'm watching it. And I will watch Cheers episodes over and over again. But when it comes to football scores, I'll just watch the highlights.
No, I like watching the whole game.
You do?
Yeah, I don't really care who's playing. You could have like Marquette playing DePaul in football. I don't even know if they have football teams.
I do love watching football. I mean, I would watch that. That sport is the one that I would watch. Any other sport, I'm not going to watch the whole game, but I'll watch the whole game.
So you watch some streaming stuff like your Hulu, your Netflix, and all that other stuff. Is there like a series that you got into that you just like binge watched, like from all the way, killed 2 weekends and most nights? Nothing?
Not recently. I mean, maybe like freshman, sophomore year of high school, but
Man, you're like, what? I mean, he's almost an anomaly, Troy.
It is.
Because usually it's like, I watch this one and this one and this
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
That's
Which
good.
is kind of what I do.
But your schedule, what does that allow for? Because I mean, you've got lifting usually in the morning.
Yeah.
I know that you had early practices when it was really hot. And how'd you like that?
I kind of liked it.
Yeah.
It was, waking up was difficult, but I liked getting it done with the day, early in the day, going to classes, and then we could have long meetings after school. So it was nice.
What are those in those meetings? I mean, you're not going to give anything away, but like, what do you focus on? What do you talk about?
Well, we do it by position, so I'll be with all the linebackers.
Right.
And Coach G will go through every play, and each person.
Every single play.
Yeah.
For the most part. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And practice
When
film
we have
too.
time. I mean,
Yeah.
when we have them in the afternoon, we have to get out and practice. So we'll just watch like the better. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The basics, just
Yeah.
kind of give you the rundown, stuff like that. But how much practice film do you guys watch? Very much?
As a team, it's mostly all we watch.
Okay.
And then on our own, we're expected to watch the game film.
Game film. All right. And they send that to you like through Huddle or something like
Yeah,
that?
through Huddle.
So you guys all have your little accounts and you can go in. Because that's one of the things I used to think was just so rude. The guys would be up in the coaches' offices and they're looking at their phones. I'm like, get off your phones. I mean, talk to people. And then you look over and they're watching game film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or practice film or something like that.
What are you looking for when you're watching that by yourself?
So earlier in the week, it'll be like tendencies of the offense, and then it'll be like, do they have any tells? Like, does the running back line up differently when it's a run versus a pass? Do the tackles do something on pass versus run? There's like something to kind of get that little bit of pre-play knowledge of what might be coming.
Is there an opportunity to share that information so you're all together and you've watched the film, we've assumed, and then you'll say, well, I noticed X, Y, and Z about this. Did you see that? And then does that happen?
I mean, so I'll mainly talk to like the linebackers and the D-line, but like I'll be like, hey, that guy does this. And then in the game, it'll be more like, Kay's doing that. Here we go.
Yeah. So how much is that, like that pre-snap stuff that you're looking for on film that you're looking for during a game? I mean, is there all that kind like, hey, watch say the guard, like if he's going to pull, they're going to come up through that B gap and, he's always going to like his inside foot. He's going to actually drop it back.
Right. Footwork is right. I mean, is that what you're looking at?
With the guards, yeah, they'll put that.
Yeah, they'll drop their foot back.
They'll be off the line a little bit more.
Yep.
There's like tells, like poker, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what you're looking for. Something that says, I can predict what you're going to do. And it's funny because I look at that too. And just watching, a regular game. And of course, I'm not watching film over and over again where you're really studying it, but you go, hey, that looks like, they're going to do this. And half the time I'm wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely a pass play.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're going to the outside.
They wanted it to look like a pass play.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That was great.
Which, hey, that means that's a good offensive coordinator.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play anything on the offensive side in high school?
Played tight end.
Oh,
Did
really?
you?
Yes.
How'd you do?
Mainly blocking, but
Okay.
2 catches for 41 yards.
There you go.
That's a great average. That is a
Amazing.
great average. I mean, when you're averaging more than 20 yards a catch, I can't believe he's not getting more looks.
Right.
But he's linebacker.
Right.
He likes hurting people. Well, not hurt. You don't like hurting people. You like tackling people.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. So do your folks get it up here to games, family?
Yeah.
Yep. That's got to be nice, being an Iowa kid. Now, I'm sure it was easier when you were down in Mount Pleasant and sometimes Burlington, because you guys played in 2 different locations.
So last year we didn't. We played only in Mount Pleasant.
All right. Because I went to one a couple of years ago. You were probably a senior in high school. We played one game in Burlington.
Yeah.
And that was actually a really cool venue. The locker room sucked, but the venue was absolutely, it was like in a little bowl. It was a high school field. It was actually kind of cool.
We played there in high school. My junior year, sophomore year.
All right. And what school was that? Like,
it was Burlington.
Well, I didn't know how many schools. I know there was a West Burlington and a Burlington, and
it's just a normal Burlington.
Okay, normal Burlington. I don't know if it's quite a town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a coat factory then, or
no? I don't think they
that's
do.
The Vermont one.
But the best part is that the parents, they wanted to go tailgate before the game.
Where are they going to do that?
There was a Catholic church across the street from the stadium, and so they went in and talked to the father, the priest, and they made a big donation so they could, and I don't think Catholics are averse to alcohol. So there was all sorts of stuff going on over there. But yeah, Waldorf took over the Catholic parking lot.
Yeah, there's jokes in there, but I'm not going to leave it alone. Yeah. That
was pretty great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, who were your big rivals then in high school?
Jefferson and Kennedy were the big ones
in town. Yeah.
So Malik played for Kennedy.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever talk a little smack?
We talk a little bit. Him being a receiver, I don't talk to him all the time, but
sure. Now, was he in high school when you were just probably coming into high school? It was probably pretty close.
So he was a senior when I was a freshman.
Right.
Is what it was.
Right. And so you probably didn't get to be on the field with him anytime?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, now, if you're studying you said exercise science, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me what your goal is. What are you going to do with that?
Right now, I think I'm thinking towards a strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
Really?
So if you were a strength and conditioning coach, now tell me about that. What do you think your demeanor is, and how do you apply that to, say, incoming potential students at a college or a university?
I mean, I don't think I'm the stereotypical strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
So might need to change a little bit, but I don't know.
What is this stereotype?
That's what I was going to
Yeah.
Well, the kind of short, jacked, kind of
likes to yell a lot.
They live in the gym. They live in the gym.
Yeah.
Do you live in the gym?
In the off season, yeah.
Yeah, in the off season?
Yes.
Okay. I would agree with you about the stereotypical thing. I've been to, with 4 boys, I've been to some visits, and I've met the stereotypical strength and conditioning coach many, many times. And I am always never impressed as like an old Army guy. I'm just like, and they're just like, I was at one. And I'm not gonna say where, but it was like, I will either call you baby or I will call you sir. And I was like, I don't know why you'd be calling anybody baby,
weird.
And he's like, if you could not stand behind me, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm like, because you're the veteran here. I mean, like, I just didn't understand, like the dude's, 26 and he's like, I'm going to teach you things about being a man and how to be a man. And I'm just like, okay, well, I mean, that's my job. I'm the dad here. So I'm not sure. Can you just teach people how to get bigger, stronger and faster? So what's your demeanor?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that's my place to say, but I feel like I'm more laid back.
I look forward to coming to a visit when you are the strength and conditioning coach, wherever you're at, and just seeing it as like, oh, Aiden went completely a different direction with this.
Exactly.
What are you doing over there? Or maybe you just light some candles and be like, welcome to my gym.
Hey guys, come on in. We're
Things are about to get strong here. Do you feel strong? And just like whatever.
Exactly. Let me cleanse your aura before we left.
Maybe all the moms that are on that visit, they'd be like, I really feel like that was probably the best.
That was great.
Strength and conditioning.
I felt like that was very holistic.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, a bunch of nonsense.
Somewhere in between those two wild scenarios.
Yeah.
That's probably where you're.
Do I smell incense?
Yeah, what is that?
Is that incense burning?
Aiden over there. Like, my lighter doesn't work. Do you have a lighter? It's like, of course I have a lighter. Like it's
Exactly.
Good.
Wow. I like that.
We created a very good scenario. People right now, this is the theater of the mind. People, this is not it's not on YouTube. We don't have any cameras here. It's just all.
Yeah, everybody's all namaste right now. Just, thank you for talking about
Downward dog.
Yeah, sure.
I see some downward dog down there in the tailgate.
Yeah, you guys ever do yoga or anything like that, or is it all just like
what kind of creative
pushing
things
metal?
You guys do out there? Is Gould out there with just like let me just start out with a downward dog?
No.
I mean, not really.
No.
Okay.
Man, Andy and I are working so hard right now to get you to just crack up, and it's really
He's stoic.
You're a stoic guy.
Yeah. No, it's all right. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
So Coach G, what's that guy like to work with?
He's intense at times, but he's a good coach. He knows a lot of football. Keeps everyone accountable.
Yeah.
For where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, just today we had to run extra because someone was late to study hall in the linebacker room.
They don't like that, do they?
No, but he always says he holds us to the highest standard.
Yeah, that's true. And, he was kind of from your area. He grew up in the Iowa City area.
Davenport, Iowa City.
Yep. And then he went to, what's the Hoover Museum? Was that West Branch?
Yeah.
Yeah, West Branch.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause he went to West Branch High School.
Oh, he did? I have family down there.
Well, you might be related.
I
don't know.
don't think
Well, I don't.
maybe.
You could ask. That you have something to talk with him
I did
about.
meet Coach G's mom and his brother.
I did not meet them.
Yeah, they were
I'm
at
a little
the,
hurt.
Well, it wasn't the. It was the first game, so Briarcliff. Yeah, they
Okay.
were at there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good family.
So, and I got to ask the question: when you were down in Mount Pleasant, did you ever have to travel up to Dickinson when you guys were in the North Star?
So the only year I was there, the farthest we had to travel was Valley City.
That's still not great.
Not great, but not Dickinson.
But that's still that's an additional 2 hours from us, or 3 nearly.
It was
So
like 5 on a bus.
Yeah, that's brutal. I always thought about when Wesleyan joined the conference, and it was like, oh, I hope they don't ever have to play Dickinson or vice versa, because Eastern Montana to Northern Illinois, or not? I'm sorry, Northern Missouri.
Make it sound really good, though. I mean, it makes me really want to go out to Dickinson and just watch that away game.
That's not till November. 11th.
It's like the best time of year.
Something like that.
Cool
Oh, yeah.
down.
A week before November 11th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you like? So you've when the weather turns cold. And that's one of the cool things about playing here in Iowa and further north. You dress for the weather, or are you just like, I'm going to be as hardcore as I can?
Shorts and a sweatshirt guy.
In high school, we could not wear any sleeves. We could only wear crew socks, black. Our high school coach was very military, so I kind of carry that almost. So I won't wear like a long sleeve undershirt or anything like that.
You go in.
I'll try to wear like something, but
Yeah, keep the cold off you.
Try to.
Yeah.
Well, the Vikings game that I did go to not too long ago, Andy, was the Bud Grant Day.
Oh, yeah.
And Bud
pretty
Grant,
cool with the
legendary coach, and he just was like, was notorious for, before they had the U.S. Bank Stadium, before the Metrodome, he was, they were out there and, gosh, what was that field called? It doesn't matter.
Metropolitan Stadium.
Thank you. Yeah, the stadium, they're outdoors, and they were like, the Vikings were cold, and he did not have any of his players. Like, that was an advantage that they would have. So Miami would come out playing, they'd be dying, and it would be difficult. And so even when he was like 90 years old, he goes out and flips the coin, and it's like, 10 degrees or 20 degrees or whatever. And he wears a short sleeve shirt just at 90, just to continue that tradition. So is that something that you look forward to? Because you've got a lot of players on the team that they're from, say, south of the Mason-Dixon line. It's a little warmer where they're from. But how's that play out for you?
I don't think I'll ever be that extreme.
No? Okay.
No. I mean, no one loves the cold.
No. It sucks.
It hurts.
And it hurts, too, when you take a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think about, like somebody like Burgett. Once it drops down to about that, under 40 degrees.
Yeah, I'd say under 40.
Trying to kick that football, especially a punt, it's like trying to kick a rock.
Right.
Oh.
Well, and I got to imagine even being the holder is not particularly great. That's a completely different situation too. Yeah.
It's not a lot of great positions to play when it's that cold.
No.
Right. Yeah,
well, and sometimes like in your
maybe
position,
cornerback. Corner, running backwards all the time, staying warm.
Maybe.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you're on an island away from everyone, so it's as a linebacker, I'll get in the piles and it'll be kind of warm.
Excuse me. No, let's just stay here.
That's
Don't
right.
move.
Boy, there's a lot more people getting half tackles this time. How'd that happen? It's like, well, it's cold, so they're all getting in there.
But at the same time, it's easier when it's cold like that. It's easier to give a hit than take a hit. Isn't it?
I don't know. I've never taken a hit in the cold.
Well, okay. And so imagine what those poor running backs are like when they try to go squirt through the B gap and you're right there ready to kill them. They probably hate that.
Well, so now if this is so as a sophomore, you got a couple more years. As you look at the program, having come from another program, which actually is beneficial because it gives you insight into how other things are done. What do you look forward to with this team this season, and then as you progress through your career at Waldorf?
Well, I mean, this season, obviously want to win conference. I feel like it's really possible, especially playing in the North Star before I kind of know like what every team is and what they do. And I feel like our team can stop all the teams in the conference, but going like on in the years, I feel like just building that brotherhood. Coach Chop talks a lot about family and like, so I feel like that would be, especially in the off season where it's not always like offense versus defense and it can be more merged.
Right. Do you find yourself hanging out mostly with like other defensive players when you're not, on the clock, doing nothing but football, or is it just a mix of whoever?
I mean, it's a mix, but like most of my time is spent with other linebackers or defensive players.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a bunch of good linebackers. We just kind of keep reloading. You got Keegan Handel, Shannon Williams, Roberto, obviously you. And then there's the young guys. Oh, yeah, Thomas. Yeah.
Can't forget about him.
And how is Thomas doing? Because as we're speaking right now, I didn't talk to Thomas after practice today, but he'd been a little banged up and they were going to move him kind of slow. Remember, this is 2 weeks away.
2 weeks away. Okay, yeah. I think he should be good. He's got a little thing going on with it, but
yep.
He seems he's taking a lot more reps today than he was last week. So
yep. Yeah. I remember my first year with the team, Thomas was with us and he was out there playing. He didn't play last year, but it's just like we got a lot of, let's be honest. Everywhere throughout our offense and defense, we just have so much talent, and some of it, you just feel like, how did we end up with those people?
Yeah. that's definitely one of the things of NAI is like,
Yeah.
some people are like, why are you here?
Yeah.
They're like, you should be way more than NAI, but people just land where they land, and it is what it is.
So I feel like, and I mean, I guess I could be wrong, but I feel like NAIA is that middle ground. It's not Division I. I don't think that there is a tremendous difference in NAIA upper level programs and in Division II and Division III. I think you have some upper level programs that are always standouts, but I don't feel like there's a big difference there for talent in the NAIA either. So to me, it seems like it's right there in the middle. And the advantage, of course, is that I think it's the Wild West. They can kind of do what they want. They're not NCAA,
Right.
which has lots of crazy rules. And there's also just the ability to get those players from all over the place. I mean, Will Strickland's a good example of that. You got somebody coming from San Diego State and doing all those great things for our program. Yeah. And we've had lots of folks like that. And then, intertransfers from the NAI like you, and I just think it's a great place personally. I think the NAI is where it's at.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I love the NAIA, and I mean, let's be honest. You say that we're not up to D1 level, but just a few days ago from when we're recording this, Northwestern College, the Red Raiders, went down to Des Moines and beat the Division I FCS Drake Bulldogs.
Yeah, right.
They played them tough, but it's like that's an NAIA program. Granted, it's the number one rated NAIA program in the nation right now. But they got to go up against things, teams like Morningside and Dort and stuff like that.
Right.
But they can do it. And so, and I'm always wondering, and
it's a little different because they're Pioneer League. So it's almost like they're Division III. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And you may not have seen this being just a sophomore.
Big dig on Drake unnecessarily.
It was. Yeah, I just kind of skipped right past
right.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
As you know, my feelings on Division III. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go back and listen to other podcast episodes about Division III and Troy's whatever.
I don't know why it's there. Anyway, go ahead.
I think one of the things that really helped NAI football, and this is terrible to say, but was COVID. Because there were so many kids that they were in a Division II or one FCS or even Division I program, and they might have got some playing time on special teams as an underclassman, but then it was just like, we're not playing we're not playing in 2020. So we're going to kind of start over, and we don't know what your position is going to be. And these kids are looking for a home.
And NAIA was like, we're the Wild West.
NAIA is like, come on over.
Yeah.
Hey, you like playing over football? Here? Exactly. We play football.
I love the NAIA for that. And I think that they also do something completely different where you just have this whole game of players that do come from all these different levels, which I've already said, but if you take a look at like the Division I guys and their transfer portal and all of that stuff, and that has completely changed the game for high school players. So whereas before you might have high school players that are getting a talking to by a D1 coach,
sure,
and now it's like I don't think that's even happen. I mean, it's happening if you're, 5-star or whatever that means. But like for most, other 5 years ago, D1 coaches are talking to high school kids on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not all of them, but now the NAIA has got this great opportunity because I think Division I, because of the transfer portal and also their kind of, what is it called when they get paid to, whatever that
NIL?
Yeah, NIL stuff. That is made it so, that's made the NAI so much better.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yep.
And a better place for high school recruits.
Yeah. Do you have any strong feelings about what the NCAA is doing with the transfer portal and anything like that?
I have no. I mean, I'm not in the NCAA, so
right.
I don't really care
that
much.
Yeah.
But
I hate it. I really do. I don't like the transfer portal. I agree with and understand the NIL, but I think it needs to be refined a little bit, because now you can, those big money programs that have extremely wealthy donors and a lot of success, what is going to preclude them from coming in and saying, hey, Aiden Williams, you're a 5-star athlete and you're playing for Tulane. All right. You want to come over to somebody that has a chance of winning a national championship, and there's a pretty good chance that there's somebody is going to pay you $650,000 next year and probably every year after while you're playing football for X big name school. And it's just like, sounds good. What precludes people from doing that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when we were growing up, that was, they wrote books about that. I remember reading about Oklahoma.
SMU.
Yeah, or Oklahoma, and Barry Schweitzer. Yeah, Switzer, yeah.
He's not German.
Yeah, Schweitzer.
Schweitzer.
They got to Barry Schweitzer and Charles Thompson and all those guys. I mean, it was a huge problem.
Yeah,
now it's just all out in the open.
Yeah, SMU got the death
But the NCAA created their own problem with that because of the things that the NCAA does, and that's a multi-billion-dollar organization. So we're in the NAIA. We love it. You've been here in the NAIA for the last 2 years, 2 different programs, and we're glad you're at Waldorf. So, yeah.
So you can see, Aiden, that Troy and I get a little worked up when we start talking about some of those things related to NAIA, NCAA, Division I, FCS, you name it. What gets you going? What's the thing what's your pump up? What's the thing that just like
for me, it's like, I want to prove myself right. Like I want to be an All-American, All-Conference. I want to be all these things. So it's like, I want to do whatever I can do to get into that position.
Well, it seems like you're doing that. You're in the weight room all the time. Mm-hmm. And, I assume classroom as well, because if you don't do the classroom, you can't go in. You'll still get to do the weight room, but you don't get to play on Saturdays. Right. And I think you probably understand that. Is that something that your family ingrained into you?
Yeah. I don't even know where it came from, but one of my big things is like, do the little things right, because it'll make the big things easier if you have all the little things set up.
Didn't Coach G talk about that after practice today?
Probably. He definitely did, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was actually there for that.
Yeah. He's big on the little things too, but I had that before I came here, was do the little things right. Makes big things easier.
Do you make your bed every morning?
I try to.
Right.
Some mornings I'll wake up a little late for class. I'm like, okay, I got to go now, so I can make it on time.
I get it. But yeah, most college kids would be like, what, my bed? Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's either you're referencing either the Navy SEAL commencement speech or Jordan Peterson. Both of those folks are big on making their beds, and I make my bed every morning. You do that, Andy?
The rule in our house is last one out of bed makes it.
Oh.
And I get up at 5 a.m.
Oh, you win every time.
Yeah, but my wife's been ill the last few days and slept in a different room. So, yes, I make my bed every morning. So,
because then it doesn't get in.
Well, yeah, I'm the last. I'm the last one out. Dang
it. Go.
Yeah,
very good.
So, Aiden, we're getting close to done with this this episode of the edition. We talked about that.
Could be an edition.
Might be an episode.
It's like
what do you think?
News
do you have
magazine.
An opinion on that, Aiden? Is it an episode?
What would
or
you
an
like
edition?
it to be called?
I think episode.
Oh,
it's an episode now. Aiden wants an episode.
All right. That's how it's listed, actually.
So, Aiden, I'm going to give you a little bit of a heads up. In what we like to do is anytime we talk with our players, number one, it's always great to get to know you guys, but we always want to give you the last word. So, but we also don't want to just drop it on you and go, all right, start talking now. So, whether you want to say something to your family, the fans, your friends, whatever, just some sort of anything, we always want to leave you with the ability to say those last things if it's something that we should have asked you and you didn't get to talk about that you really wanted to. I can see the stress on his face, Troy.
Yeah, doesn't
I can see the stress on his face.
He handles stress pretty well. He's got it with a smile.
He's a linebacker.
Yeah.
Just one of those things to do this. So with that being said, Aiden, is there anything that you'd like to leave us with, my friend?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's the best one I've heard so far.
One. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your mom's name?
Katie.
Katie.
Very good. I love Katie. That Katie's a great name.
It's a strong name.
Yeah.
So when you go home, is there something that mom makes that you're like, oh, Katie, this is for you. This is Aiden's favorite.
She kind of makes a little bit of everything. So
What's her best? What's your favorite?
all of it. I can't put my.
She's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Makes
get
really good. Like,
She doesn't like that answer, though. I mean,
No, because I wanna-
Yeah, she wants
yeah.
specifics. Yeah.
And the reason you got to be, and that's a good answer.
Yeah,
and
good
because
answer. Mhm.
there was one time when I was in school, called and said, "Hey, I'm coming home this weekend," and my mom said, "Oh, what would you like? What would you like me to have?" I'm like, "Mom, I love your meatloaf." Now my mom makes just darn good everything. Her meatloaf it's good. It's meatloaf. I mean, how do you screw that up? So every time I came home for like the next year and a half, I got meatloaf.
Yeah.
I should have said lasagna or like prime rib or something.
Should have said prime rib.
I should have.
Yep.
Or a good Iowa chop.
Something she's never made before is like, Mom, I really love your porterhouse steak.
Exactly. I like baked ziti with veal.
Yeah.
Can you do baked ziti with the veal? I like
I
that
want
stuff.
cow tongue, Mom.
Oh, I had cow tongue last week. It was delicious.
I know you did.
I've got a picture of it on my phone.
Lord.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Aiden, thank you so much for taking some time and letting us and our listeners get to know you a little bit better. Looking forward to being able to spend a few more years watching you grow and all conference, all American, and bringing this team to new heights.
thank you for having me.
No, it's our pleasure.
You're welcome.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast. For Troy Thompson, this is Andy Buffington, and forever and always, go Warriors. You can join the Waldorf Gridiron Club and be part of the best small college football experience in America.
Just visit our website and pick your membership level. Find us and everything Waldorf Gridiron Club related, including professional photos, at waldorfgridironclub.org.
You can also click on the Support the Show link in the show notes to donate.
And you can even use the United States Postal Service by sending your check to the Waldorf Gridiron Club, P.O. Box 125, Forest City, Iowa, 50436.
It's tax exempt, hassle-free, and has a level for every budget.
That's right. Anyone can join, even our rivals.
Show your colors. Join the Gridiron Club today.
Get it?
Got it. Fantastic.
The Waldorf Gridiron Club podcast is hosted by Andy Buffington and me, Troy Thompson. Produced by Sunnyside Farm Studios in beautiful rural Forest City, Iowa. Platformed by Buzzsprout and music by Soundstripe. The Waldorf Gridiron Club is a 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to the student athletes of the Waldorf University football program. Our mission is to assist the program in maintaining the best small college football experience in America.